Hello, dearest. I have returned.
It's always nice to see you walk through that door.
Servus und herzlich willkommen zurück hier bei Lamplight City. Junge, das war jetzt ein weiter Weg, denn ich konnte jetzt noch einmal den kompletten Fall wieder spielen, weil Save Game gab es nicht. So, erstes Thema, speichern. Ups, yeah, super. Also, wie sich herausstellt, können wir unter Umständen, wenn wir bestimmte Situationen verkacken, was wir natürlich im Vorfeld nicht wissen, uns in gewisse Sackgassen reinmanövrieren. Das heißt, Adelaide hätte nicht mehr mit uns gesprochen. Und jetzt aber, die Gute spricht mit uns. Yeah.
Addie?
What is it, Miles?
What have you been up to lately?
Nothing particularly exciting. My usual clients have been scheduling appointments, and I've been trying to get some new ones as well. In my free time, I've been catching up on my reading.
Anything good?
Yes, the conclusion to the dissembling mechanism was just published in Brentwell magazine last week.
What's that?
James Penstroke's latest serial. I wanted to read it to you, but you haven't been around much lately.
Perhaps I'll take a look now that I can actually concentrate again.
Yes, you could read it to me. I wouldn't mind hearing it again. It would certainly be a nicer way to spend your time than going out drinking.
Ja, da hast du recht, meine Gute.
Was Desiree late?
No, but plenty of the other grand dames used to gossip about her.
What sort of things would they say?
Usually they'd comment about how much she'd had to drink the night before. I got the impression she was quite the tippler. I hope you're not planning on following her example.
That would require me to burn to death in our bed.
Then I stand by my previous statement.
Ja, wir werden nicht mehr saufen. Also habe ich nicht vor, möchte ich nicht mehr. Aber jetzt können wir sie über sie befragen. Haha.
You've got an appointment with Charlotte Robineau later today, don't you?
Are you using your detecting skills on me now?
I spoke with her at the Gascon Supper Club, and she mentioned you. Turns out she knew Desiree Lathan.
Makes sense. That social circle is tiny.
She wasn't very forthcoming, though. Do you think you might try and persuade her to talk?
Persuasion shouldn't be necessary. She usually just sits in the chair and starts gossiping up a storm. I think I know more about all the Gascon grand dames than anyone should.
That's good. That's very good. Right. These are the things I want you to ask her about.
Also,
So you want me to take off about an inch, but keep enough for your curls?
Yes, that's right. You know how I like it, Adelaide.
tja, achso, jetzt können wir quasi sie spielen. Alles klar. So, wie war denn das?
How was the grand dame's ball? Was your hairdo a hit?
Oh, it was. All those other old biddies were practically fainting with jealousy. Truth be told, though, the evening was rather dull. Just the regular crowd of wags and gossips. You know, sometimes I envy people like you, Adelaide.
People like me.
Yes, you know, ordinary people. Being a member of high society can be so draining. One quite lacks a sense of purpose, of ordinary honest usefulness that comes from a good day's labor.
Have you done much of that sort of labor yourself, madam?
What? No, of course not. But I imagine it must be quite good for the soul, quite grounding. Just being what you are. No airs or pretense. Oh, you've missed a bit there on the left ear. Do be sure it comes out even.
Certainly, madam.
Was für eine Bitch.
I have to say, your musical selection for today is lovely.
It's nice to know someone like you can appreciate some of the finer points of culture. In case you were wondering, the piece is the Fourth Symphony by a composer named Theophilus von Wagner.
Yes, it's refreshing to hear the Fourth Symphony for a change. Most people know von Wagner for his Fifth Symphony or his Lute Concerto in D minor.
Oh, you know von Wagner?
Although I admit he isn't one of my favorite Baroque composers, I can appreciate what he brought to the movement. I'm more in favor of Scaravaldi. His development of the Concerto Grosso makes for much richer musical tapestry. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, well, perhaps so.
Do you have any favorites among Scaravaldi's works?
His first symphony is quite riveting.
Do you mean his Concerto for Mandolin? He didn't have a first symphony as such.
Well, yes. That's what I meant. As much as I enjoy chatting, perhaps you should concentrate on what you're doing, dear.
In your face, bitch. In your face. Genau so. So, jetzt gehen wir aber ins Detail.
I was reading in the paper this morning about what happened with Desiree Lathan. Did you hear about that?
Oh, such a tragedy. Poor Desi. We hadn't talked in a long time, but how terrible to think of her dying in such a horrible way.
My condolences.
Thank you, dear.
Did you and Desiree used to be friends?
Oh, we were like sisters at one point.
What happened?
What else? A man got involved.
You were both after the same man?
No, quite the contrary. We both enjoyed being unattached and had vowed to keep it that way. The spinster sisters, we used to call ourselves. But I fell for a man a few years ago. We got married and Desiree stopped speaking to me.
That's a shame.
Yes, especially considering the marriage only lasted a few brief months. I lost both my husband and my best friend. I'm sure there's a lesson to be learned in that.
I heard someone mention that Desiree had her portrait painted recently.
Yes, I heard that too. I think it was Caroline who told me. Yes, that was it, Caroline. She was looking for a portrait artist and told me Desiree had found one. Roger DeVay, I think she said his name was.
Roger DeVay? Sounds mysterious. Who is he?
Well, I don't know about mysterious. He's just an artist. Not a very good one either, from what I hear.
He didn't do a good job on the portrait?
Oh, no, he did fine. I just meant he hasn't really taken off. His paintings aren't worth very much, you see. But Desiree took a liking to him very quickly. Even went as far as giving him an extra key to her apartment. If there was anything more going on between them, I couldn't say. But she could have done a lot better, if you ask me. I mean, he's barely even an artist now. I heard he took a teaching position at the university. Now, who would want their likeness immortalized by a lecturer?
I see. Well, I hope he makes it in the world someday.
Miracles may happen.
Alles klar. Oder? Das war's jetzt.
Good. I think that's all finished.
Thank you, Adelaide.
Likewise, Miss Robinow. I'll see you next week. And she didn't tip very well either.
I'm sorry, dear. She sounds positively dreadful.
No more than the other Gascon Grand Dames. I just hope you managed to get something useful from that.
Ja, wenn wir jetzt wissen, wo diese Universität ist, dann finden wir den Herrn und dann, ey, Schätzchen.
Enjoy your
Eddie.
reading. I'll be back soon.
Good luck.
Ey, Schätzchen, du hast uns vermutlich wieder mal den Tag oder den Fall gerettet. Oh yeah. Eddie hat's voll drauf. Yeah. Dann schauen wir jetzt mal zu dem Herrn. Oh, ein nackter Mann. Sehen wir uns mal um.
I'm guessing it's locked, but it probably only contains more art supplies we don't care about.
Aber wenn der Dozent der Universität ist, wieso ist der dann obdachlos? Der kann sich doch wohl eine Wohnung leisten, oder?
All the tools an artist would ever need. Brushes, pieces of canvas, paints. There's also several jars full of clear liquid. Interesting.
Definitiv.
Huh. This is linseed oil. It's used as a drying agent for oil paintings. It would be a good idea to take a sample of this, Miles. Especially now that nobody's looking.
Yeah, Rock'n'Roll. So, dann schauen wir mal, was da los ist.
Where dreams go to die.
Okay, ein nackter Mann.
Well, so much for modesty. Ooh, is it warm in here or is it just me?
Gut, die können wir eh nicht angucken. Dann reden wir mal mit dem guten Herrn.
Excuse me.
Yes,
Are you Roger DeVay?
I am.
Miles Fordham, private investigator. I have some questions for you if you aren't too busy.
Will this take long? This isn't exactly the best time.
It shouldn't, no.
All right then, quickly.
Ah, ein Schlüssel. Oh.
Do you know Desiree Lathan?
Desiree? Yes, of course I know her. What happened to her was just awful.
Indeed. My condolences, Mr. DeVay. What can you tell me about her?
She was a wonderful woman. Sharp, full of life, extremely witty. I only knew her for a short time, but I consider myself lucky to have had her as a friend.
How did you two meet?
We were introduced at a party and became fast friends. It's hard to believe she's really gone.
Tja, da bleibt aber noch ein paar Fragen bleiben noch über, würde ich sagen.
Do you have any information regarding Desiree's death?
No, none at all. It came as a total shock. I heard she was burned to death. Oh, is that true?
It is.
It's really just unthinkable.
Do you know of anyone who might have wished harm upon her?
No, everyone loved her. To think someone could be capable of doing that to her, it just makes me feel sick.
You painted Desiree's portrait, is that right?
Yes, I finished it just a few months ago.
Do you often do commissioned work?
Sometimes, but this wasn't exactly a commission, more like a gift.
You mean you weren't paid for it?
No, I didn't do it for money. It was an honor just to paint her.
I see. And did she like the result?
Well, she had it hanging in her bedroom and not in her attic, so I assumed she liked it well enough.
It was a rather nice portrait, I must admit.
Oh, so you've seen it?
Indeed, I have. Regrettably, I can't comment on the likeness, never having seen the subject in life.
Ah, yes. Well, she used to say that standing in front of it was like looking into a mirror. I tried my best to do her justice.
Tja,
How long have you been teaching at this university?
About 4 years now.
And do you also earn money with your painting?
Not of late. I haven't sold a painting in some time. But my salary from the university is enough for the time being. Perhaps someday I'll be able to devote the proper focus to my painting.
ah, die schöne Musik im Hintergrund. Aber jetzt geht's ans Eingemachte.
Is it true that Miss Lathan recently changed her will to make you her beneficiary?
Yes, you can imagine my surprise.
My understanding is she left you quite a significant sum.
I don't see how that's any of your business, but yes, she did. I'm very lucky. Oh, I see what you're getting at. You're thinking I killed her for her money. Is that it?
I never said anything of the sort, Mr. DeVay.
No, but I can see it in your eyes. Look, Desiree considered me the son she never had, and she was like my second mother. I would never, ever even think of doing something so horrid.
Oh, I'm sure he wouldn't.
I'll let you get back to your class.
Right.
Ich bin mir da nicht so sicher, denn entweder es ist Macht oder es ist Geld oder es ist eine Frau. Oder Beziehungstat, ne? Irgendwas in diese Richtung. Na gut, aber wir haben eine Flüssigkeit eingepackt und wir wissen jetzt, wo der gute Herr wohnt. Also gucken wir mal ins Labor. Schauen wir mal, dann sehen wir schon.
Now that we've got
Alles
some
klar.
linseed oil, it's probably worth testing.
Genau, das machen wir jetzt.
Well, I'll be
Treffer.
damned. We've got ourselves a match. I wonder if Edwards knows anything pertinent about this stuff.
Ausgezeichnet, aber das allein wird wahrscheinlich nicht reichen. Jetzt bin ich mir sicher, dass es ist. Hat sich ausgezahlt, alles nochmal zu spielen. Haha.
Pardon me, Edwards.
Yes,
What do you know about linseed oil?
it's an oil made from flaxseed that has many uses. Most commonly, it's used to dry things like varnish or oil paints. Some people even eat it for health benefits. I hear it goes well with a bit of quark.
And it's flammable?
As most oils are, yes. Where are you going with this?
The oily residue on that rag is linseed oil.
Fascinating.
but I found no trace of anything used to light a fire at the crime scene.
Uh-oh, he's getting that gleam in his eye.
Wait just a moment. Linseed oil. Of course! Anytime linseed oil is used, extreme caution must be taken to dry cure rags that may be soaked in it. That's because when linseed oil dries and oxidizes, it releases heat. A pile of rags soaked in linseed oil in a confined space runs the risk of spontaneously combusting.
How long would this take exactly?
A few days, at least.
Interesting. It's a rather uncertain means of murder, but it's excellent for appearing accidental.
It's certainly not the most far-fetched conclusion you've ever come to.
Thanks. That's all I needed to know for the moment.
Anytime, Fordham.
Gut, was haben wir jetzt für einen Hinweis gefunden? So, alles klar. Also, kann ich noch erinnern, als ich gesagt habe, das Buch über diese spontane Selbstentzündung, da ist alles drin gestanden, außer das unterm Bett.
Nothing new to ask him.
Ich will ihn eh nicht fragen.
I'm
ich will
afraid I need to
vorbeigehen.
have another look inside Miss Lathan's room, Officer Kane.
All right, but please be quick about it.
Gucken wir mal nochmal. Sehen wir da vielleicht noch was?
Just a pile of ashes. Nothing. This one's. I don't think Desiree will.
Bill?
What? There's a.
Okay.
I don't think there's much. Doesn't look as though this fireplace has been used in a long time. I suppose we can rule it out as the source.
Ja, offensichtlich.
Nothing else of interest in there. Miss Lathan's half-written article about igniting the fires. That's a nice portrait of Miss Lathan. Too bad it was damaged by the fire. The area where the artist's signature should be has been singed and is unreadable. Too bad.
But the date is still legible. It's from this year.
That's a nice portrait.
But the date...
Looks like this one barely...
Was könnte das? Ach so,
All right,
vielleicht
but
die Lampe, die da steht. Kann das sein? Nope. Dann sprechen wir noch mal mit dem guten Herrn DeVay. Der scheint mir am plausibelsten. Ganz einfach, weil er der Einzige ist, der was davon hat.
probably best not to disturb his class if you...
Ich habe was Neues.
I'm guessing it's locked.
Wer könnte mir jetzt was dazu sagen? Er, oder? Nein. Schon?
May I ask you some more questions?
Sure. I ain't going nowhere.
Tell me about Roger's artistic pursuits.
Well, not much to tell, really. He used to paint all the time when he had his studio in the building that used to be here. He was good at it, too. Shame nobody ever bought his paintings. All that's left now are those two unfinished ones against the back wall there. We used the rest of his spare canvas to make the tent.
How did Roger feel about his paintings not selling?
Well, how do you think? Made him madder than the March air. Didn't do a very good job of hiding his displeasure either. At least none around me. He always used to say he'd find some way or another to make the money he deserved.
Odd. He told me he was content with the salary he got from his teaching job.
That's a load of bunkum if I ever heard it. Truth is, old Roger's about as poor as Job's turkey. He'd do anything to make a quick crown.
Well, now, that's certainly interesting.
I thank you for your time.
Das ist definitiv interessant.
Well, it's fitting that Mr. DeVay is an artist, because I think he's painted us a pretty clear picture of what happened to Ms. Lathan.
Absolut. Absolutely.
Probably best not...
Ich bin mir nämlich jetzt ziemlich sicher, dass er es ist. 100%ig sicher. Roger DeVay. Kunstprofessor an der Universität von New Bretagne, kürzlich als als Erbe von Desiree Lathan bestimmt. Hat sie wahrscheinlich wegen ihres Geldes ermordet, benutzte Leinen und getränkte Lappen, die unter dem Bett lagen, um es nach einem Unfall aussehen zu lassen. Das ist auch das, was ich plausibel finde. Und jetzt werden wir den ganzen Sack zumachen.
Got a moment, Upton?
Yes, but let's make this quick.
I'm done with...
Oh?
She was murdered by Roger DeVay, a professor of art at the university, in order to claim her inheritance. DeVay befriended Miss Lathan and even painted her portrait, but his failure to establish a name for himself and earn a living from his art was driving him mad. Miss Lathan cared for him as a son, and recently changed her will, naming Roger as her sole beneficiary. Roger knew of this, and decided killing Miss Lathan was the best way to solve his financial troubles.
And how did he manage to do so?
Desiree had given him a key to her apartment. While she was out at the Grand Dame's ball, he entered and left a pile of rags soaked in linseed oil under her bed. She arrived home drunk and passed out, unaware that the rags were growing hotter by the minute. Eventually, the oil burst into flames, burning the rag pile as well as poor Miss Lathan.
How awful. Well, I'll certainly pass along the information. What an astounding series of events. Although I'm sorry you won't be able to gloat to Snelling that you solved the case before his detectives did.
I can find other means of amusement, I think.
Good work, Fordham. As usual, I'll send anything else your way as soon as I get it.
Oh yeah.
Roger DeVay,
Yes, what is it?
you're under arrest for the murder of Desiree Lathan.
Oh, I see.
Come with me. We need to ask you some questions at the station. And you up there, make yourself decent, would you?
Mehr sagt er nicht dazu.